Hey guys, welcome back to channel May We See. I just want to remind you all that I have $11 natal chart readings and $11 past, present, future oracle readings with tarot clarification cards and an animal spirit pull for $11. And if you make your way to my Instagram, May We See, I post so much there, like I totally recommend following me there. If you DM me there, then we can talk about that. I like PayPal and Venmo and yeah. Okay, so anyways, I want to get into the card of the day, which is the horse, which I feel like is so, it just goes really well with the Capricorn progressive energetic movement because the horse is all about movement. And I feel that there's the Capricorn eclipse, I feel like it really put us into this new mentality about progression that used to be oriented around like money, but now we're more so realizing that like the subconscious realm is the foundation of our lives. So if we have energetic progress in the physical realm is destined to come about. So it's like we are going to the root of the problem, or not the problem, but the root of the situation and acting from there instead of acting. Come on in. Come in. Come here. Sorry, I didn't let my dog in here. But we're going to the root of the. Oh my god. Bear with me, folks. Hey, I'll get you water in a second. Okay. Okay, so we're going to like the root of life and circumstances that we're living in and how they're oriented around. There's no water left, B. Alright, he's coming in the bin. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, so anyways, so instead of focusing on the physical, we're realizing that the physical comes out of the subconscious. We're more deeply rooting our actions and our perspective and like our mental focus on the subconscious realm because that only reflects outwardly, and that is the origin of creation. So I feel that the Capricorn eclipse portal kind of oriented around I'm sorry. I'm literally there's a lot of energies coming in around this, but okay, we're back. So the Capricorn eclipse set us into this mentality where we realize that this reality is rooted in energy and it's not rooted in the physical. So now we need to focus on our energy. And so then now that we've realized this, like I feel like we've all kind of like experienced, like I feel like we all have like tapped into this like emotion that like we can feel that 2020 is bringing in like some really magical energy for like all of us, which we obviously have to choose to tap into. But I feel that like, I don't know, I just feel it's like very hopeful energy going through the collective right now. Like I feel like transformation like really like brings this new energy, and there's been like so much transformation recently with like Saturn and the sun and the moon and Jupiter all conjunct, and Pluto all conjunct in Capricorn, because that means all of those essences are going through very deep transformation. So like our work ethic, our personality, our emotions, like our luck and success, like all of these things are transforming. And I feel like this transformative like progressive energy is really bringing in like new energy. And so we're tapping into like this limitlessness. We realize that there's things to experience that we haven't experienced before, and like coming into this like realization that there's more happiness than we've ever felt, like that there's so much more spiritual fulfillment than we've ever even tapped into. We're really getting surged with like this hope. But like now, since there's like this new deeper essence of magic that's flowing through us that we've now tapped into, that now wants to be the aim of our reality, like everything that does it like match up frequency wise with that new magical essence that we're like trying to tap into and live within, like everything is coming about to like be released. So like any attachments that we have are coming to be released. Any trauma that's unprocessed, like anything unprocessed within is like coming to be released, because our personalities are going through such deep transformation and being really progressive, and like our personalities are oriented around our subconscious realm. So if there's anything that we're attached to that our personalities are oriented by, then we are going to be processing those things. I feel like in a lot of ways when we think of like shedding season or like processing things, we only think about like the negative like trauma that we have experienced, but we also attach to like highs as well. And so we're also going to have those highs come in, and like we're probably going to feel like this sense of lack, or maybe we do feel this like sense of lack because there's like these highs that we've experienced in the past that we aren't necessarily experiencing right now, because we're really like shedding and like transforming. So we're not necessarily like in this like thick of amazingness in our lives, but like we're really like tapping into like our inner universes and like the energy. So like there's not necessarily a bunch going on in our physical lives, but there's so much going on energetically. And so we might feel like lack if we are like too attached to highs that have happened in our past. We're like, oh, like I'm missing out on things. And like we're also coming to like process those things, that it's like, okay, yeah, those highs can give me hope, those highs can give me wisdom, but like I cannot attach to those. Like my sense of self can't be in that high. I can just realize that I can hold that frequency vibration of hope for things of highs like that, but like I cannot be attached to that and make myself feel like I'm lacking just because I've experienced something that's more energetically fun, I would say. But that doesn't mean that like you're lacking right now, because this step is like so essential right now to process these things and to like detach from all the highs that we've experienced and detach from all the trauma that we've experienced. And also like Venus in Aquarius like gives us this attached perspective on love, which like allows us to love all these past situations, like, and be able to like not be so caught up in like the emotion of them, and instead like detach and kind of see the bigger picture and see the purpose of everything that has ever happened to us, and see the purpose of feeling those highs and then having time like come in between us and that high, and we didn't carry it with us. And there's also like the bigger picture purpose of all the trauma that we've experienced and the wisdom that it gave us, and the perspective, and just really tapping into that is like super essential right now, because we're going to be processing those things. And it's like when those things come back up, we have the ability to like mope in them and like reattach to them and be like, oh, I'm such a victim, like I'm such a victim. Or you can be like, wow, like how does this empower me? Like how does my experiences like empower me? Like how can I transform the frequency of this into this new frequency of magic that I want? Like, so if something hurt, like how do I change it into magic? Take the lesson, take the wisdom, take the empowerment of it that it brought you from being able to move on from that, and like tap into that, because like the horse is all about like progression and movement and expansive energy. And it's like we're not here to be stuck in the same place anymore. Like all of this energy is coming in to move us along and really wipe us clean, like really allow us to be like this new pure foundation of love that's not oriented around our fears and not oriented around these past mentalities that we've had around things like all like I'm having so many of like my own visions of like personal things, and I'm like going through when it comes to this energy, so I'm a little bit distracted. But it's like that is happening for all of us, and it's just important to not get caught up in that. Just remember to just progress through like, how can I be more magic? How can I be more magic? Like I don't need to get caught up in these 3D mentalities of like who I am. Like instead I can just be like, okay, well how is this a representation of essence, and spin the perspective that you've always had on it so that you can finally detach from it and not carry it around as like a weight within you, because there's so much love and abundance coming our way, but we cannot experience love and abundance if we're stuck in fear, if we don't allow ourselves to receive love, if we don't allow ourselves to be love because we're scared of love because it hurt us. Like that's like a past mentality of love. Like love cannot actually hurt you. Like that's attachment, and that's what we're like detaching from. And this new sense of unconditional love is really coming in. It's like if we can tap into that unconditional love, we can progress through all this processing very quickly and very foundationally and at its core, and not just like some surface level, like, oh, like this comes through, like, oh, I'm sad, like fuck that person, like, and move forward. Like, no, like that's not processing anything at all. Like, that's not the core of the bigger picture. Like, that person's not a bad person, they're going through their own shit. Like, you have to go step back into the bigger picture and be like, wow, like everything happens so that I can have the wisdom and experiences and the spectrum of experiences that I had that allow me to be in this perspective that I'm in here right now, which is like pivotal for the ascension of consciousness for all of us to be where we are. But it's also pivotal for the progression of the ascension of consciousness to tap into this unconditional love and tap into the magic of the universe and realize the importance and purpose of everything that's ever happened to us, and also the purpose of being here right now and not being with those things, and also the purpose of what's coming, and also why it's important for us to be receptive of what's coming. And that's why it's important we need to let go and process everything that happened here and progress energetically from all the things that we previously experienced, become present so that we can be open to what is new. So yeah, just keep the momentum going energetically. Like when we feel guilt and things, like move through it. Try not to get stagnant in that space. Try not to like attach that guilt to who you are. Just be like, oh, I'm feeling guilty right now. Like, you know why I don't need to feel guilty? Because everything that's ever happened is an essential step on the stairway up to my ascension. So I don't need to feel guilty. I just need to understand and accept that situation that maybe I'm not necessarily, I wouldn't attach my ego to, but it's not about your ego, so it's not about attaching to it. It's really just, it's like, what wisdom can I gain from that? Like, I don't need to feel guilty. Let's transmute this guilt into wisdom and hold that frequency within me, because that wisdom holds magic. That wisdom holds unconditional love, whereas that guilt really lowers my vibration, and I'm trying to release everything that is a lower vibration that doesn't allow me to be limitless and doesn't allow me to be confident and doesn't allow me to be in my power. And release all of those things and keep moving forward. Don't not feel, because it's important to feel so that you know what you're processing, and be open to what you're feeling, but also be open to letting what you're feeling go and move on, because like we are not our past. That is just something that happened, that we experienced, that we viewed, and we attach ourselves to the past, and it's really important to detach. It's really important to move forward. Be present now. Be open to what is before you, so that you can also be open to what is to come. May we see.